Good morning, everybody. Today is day 21 of my sunrise hikes, and I thought it was day 19 yesterday, but it was actually day 20. So today is day 21 of these hikes. I'm feeling good, but here's what I'm thinking. When I get up, I'm thinking I have a meeting with you all at the top of the mountain. That's what I think. I'm like, everybody's up at the top of the mountain, and I have to be there at sunrise or else I'm gonna be late. So I'm thinking about getting up here for my meeting with all of you because today is Sunday. So happy Sunday for everybody. I hope you had a great weekend so far. But today is normally a day of rest for me. My mom has been trying to get me to understand this a little bit, but the 30-day challenge is good and I can do this for 30 days, but I can totally see why we need a day of rest. 1 day a week at least. It definitely helps me stay supercharged for the rest of the week. But that being said, I'm making it happen. We're on day 21. It is, come on Siri. Try to lift my watch up and then she thinks I want to talk to her. It's 5:21 right now. The sun is basically coming up right now, so that's pretty awesome. Today I want to talk a little bit, yesterday I talked about moringa and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys get some moringa trees because they are epic, they're incredible. Today I want to talk about key decisions and I want to talk about 3 specific questions that you've made in your key decisions in your life. The key decisions I want to talk about, because life is about decisions, it's about choices. We got to make choices, we got to make decisions. But there are definitely some key decisions that you've made in your life. These are the crossroads. These are the times in your life when you've decided to believe something about yourself, about others, about the world. Key decisions, maybe you made a decision not to trust anybody at some point in your life. Maybe you made a decision that a certain group of people are not smart, or maybe you made a decision that people are I'm not really sure what key decisions that have shaped your actions as of right now, but I just want you to think about that. Key decisions that shape our life, the crossroads in our life. There's 3 things that I want you to ask about those crossroads, those key decisions of your life. The first question I want you to ask yourself is, how did that key decision protect you at the time? Because a lot of the times the key decisions that we make are based out of a reaction of something else that's going on. For instance, if we have an abusive parent, we could immediately make a key decision as a child to be strong and never show vulnerability. And then when someone else starts showing vulnerability in that, like if it's a sibling, one person's trying to be strong, if it's 2 girls, and the other girl cries when she gets abused, the girl that's staying strong is the one that's getting hit more often or whatever. But the girl that's staying strong can now start despising the girl that's crying, because every time the girl cries, dad stops beating her or whatever. The abuse stops when the girl starts crying. But then the strong person starts resenting the reason that she's crying and starts not liking her. Does that make sense? So the key decision at that point in that person's life is stay strong and don't show your feelings. For one sibling, the other sibling is show your feelings and everything stops, cry, and then the abuse will stop. So it's like those are 2 decisions, key decisions. And then at that moment in our life as a childhood, when certain things are installed like that, they affect, these are the 3 questions. How did it protect you, your key decision at the time? How did it affect your relationships at the time? And then also, there's a 3rd question. How did it protect you? How did it affect your relationships? And how did it, how did it affect other people around you? But the main thing is, I want you to just look at those key decisions. Sorry, this isn't as eloquent as I'd like it to be, but I want you to look at those key decisions, and I want you to ask yourself right now in your life, are those key decisions that you made at those crossroads in your life, are they still affecting you now? In a positive way or in a negative way? I mean, we can make key decisions that are good, we can make key decisions that are bad. So I'm just encouraging you to look back at everything that's little places where you could have taken a different direction. Not all the little places, but the big places where you could have taken a different direction. The big crossroads in your life when you could have attached a different meaning to a situation as it was happening. And once you identify that stuff, then I want to bring it back to how do we improve ourselves with all this? How is it going to help us by looking back at our key decisions and asking us, how did it protect us at the time? Because a lot of the time, some of the things that we do, crying, complaining, whining, whatever, inaction, action, all those things are states of control. We're trying to control the situation with whatever action we make or take. We're trying to protect ourselves in some way. We're trying to protect ourselves based out of some kind of programming that's been installed in us for every action that we take. Does that make sense? So when we look at the key decisions that we've made in our life, the key crossroads that we've made in our life, we need to ask ourselves, how did that protect me? Was that a protection that was a good protection for me, or was I protecting myself out of fear? Because then, once we can acknowledge those and identify that, now we can make better key decisions moving forward, because we're not going to be blinded by making a decision out of fear. Making decisions are so necessary. It's so necessary. We can't be scared of making decisions because we always make decisions. Even if we're scared of making decisions, we're still making decisions. But let's learn how to make better decisions and how to make those crucial crossroad decisions in a place where it's going to vector your life this way instead of this way or this way. So I want you to live your best life that you could possibly live. And the way that we do that is identify the things that have programmed us in the past, or that we've allowed to program us, or other people have programmed in us. And then all the key decisions that we made from those moments. And those key decisions have shaped our life to the point that we're at. And it's probably controlling a certain number of our actions right now. There are probably a certain number of habits that are controlling our actions today from some key decisions that we made way back in the day, back when we were children. So those are the things that we can choose to make a new decision on any moment we want. So right now is the moment to make a new decision, a decision that's going to change your life for the better, but only you can figure out what that decision is, because it's really probably going to be based around a decision either to, look, if we stop trusting people because something happened to us, it can really affect our future. Now, I've had some issues with trust in the recent couple last years. I've learned a new rule that I'm deciding whether or not I want to fully install it, but I think it's an installable idea, is trust is earned. Love is freely given. Trust is earned. Trust is earned. You know, you got to earn the trust with yourself too. You got to learn to trust yourself, but you can't trust yourself if you never do what you say you're going to do. It's going to be hard to trust yourself at that point. It's like one of my friends, when I used to party back in the day in college, one of my friends, every time we would get drunk, she was like, the next morning, I'm never drinking again. Like, she would say that every single time that she got drunk, like, I'm never drinking again. Have you guys ever said that to yourselves? Well, that's the funny thing is, of course, the drinking did not stop. Never, it never stopped. That's what I also learned, and I've known this, but I've been researching a little bit more about relationships lately and men versus women. And I heard this awesome Tony Robbins topic on men versus women. And there's the big difference, and he broke it down so simply. There's a big difference between men and women. The first difference is men say what we mean. Women don't say what they mean. They say what they want you to figure out what they mean. And some women say what they mean, but anyways, there was a whole video that went along with this. But what we got to understand is we got to read between the lines, guys. We got to read between the lines. Women want us to want to figure them out. Women want us to want to figure them out. And women, for all you women out there, if you like someone or whatever and you ask a question to a guy and he just says no, Like, hey, do you want to, you just like, do you want to go get a drink? And then the guy says no. What are you thinking in your mind? What stories do you create in your mind of why he just said no? And that's the big question I want to ask you ladies is, I love the fact that you have such a creative imagination. You make up all these ideas on why this person said no, but here's the best thing. All you gotta do is really just ask them why they said no. And also, don't assume that this guy saying no means that he doesn't like you or that anything. There's a whole bunch of reasons you would say if a guy says no, if you get the courage and go up and talk to him. So just understand, it's not about, guys are very literal. We're literal when we speak. When we say we're tired, it probably is because we're tired. When you're like, what are you thinking? And we say we're not thinking about anything. There's a chance that we're not actually thinking about anything. Anyways, I love you all. Men and women are different. We're all different. We just need to learn a little bit more about each other every day so we can all do this cool life thing together and appreciate each other along the way. And that's the other thing. So how did your key decisions in the past hurt other people? Did they hurt other people? That's the other question. How do they affect your relationships? But how do they protect you and how do they hurt others if they did? I want you to ask that question because some of your past key decisions could have affected others in a negative way because they protected you, but they affected others in a negative way. And if that's what happened, we got to be okay with apologizing. Now, I don't want you to get into the habit of apologizing expecting to need forgiveness, right? Don't apologize with the expectation and need for forgiveness. Just apologize. That's what you need to do for you and for them. Now, there's a way to apologize. The way to apologize, I think the first thing you need to do when you really find out, oh my gosh, there's a key decision that I made years and years ago that affected someone in a negative way. It's okay to apologize for that. But when you apologize, do a couple things. First off, appreciate them and look at something in that situation and appreciate something about them. And then when you appreciate something, also say, hey, look, I've learned a lot over the past. I'm a different person than I was, but I just want to tell you that I'm sorry for the way, oh my gosh. I always love doing that. I'm sorry for the way that my decision at the time affected our relationship or whatever you want to do, but appreciate them first. And think about those key decisions in your moment and how they affected you and how they affected others. And maybe those key decisions that you've made in your life have affected you and your relationship with yourself poorly. And if that's the case, it's time to apologize to yourself and to learn to make new decisions. To ask yourself, what are the decisions that I want to make that can be new decisions? And another way, how can we make better decisions? We get to know ourselves a little bit better. How do we get to know ourselves a little bit better? Well, I would recommend that you maybe take some of those tests, those personality tests or the psychology tests. Get a mentor. I think some of the tests, here's the one thing I find pretty fascinating, the human needs psychology test. There's the 6 human needs that I discussed. It's uncertainty, certainty, significance, love, growth, and contribution. And usually we have a mix of all of those within us, the 6 human needs. However, there are a top 2, usually maybe 3, but there's definitely a top 2 for you. So here's what I want you to do. Figure out, take some tests, do whatever, find out what your most important human needs are, or find out how you need. Learn more about yourself so you can make better decisions. That's all I'm really saying. And I don't know that I'm really that eloquent this morning. I think now the morning is, I'm not going to give myself an excuse because my brain needs to be turned on and sharp right in the morning. But I am a little bit missing some of my cues here. But that's all right. Hope you guys forgive me for being a little bit off this morning, but that's okay. Hey, I'm trying to talk about something that matters at 5:35 in the morning. So I know, so you guys know that I love you. So anyways, all right. That's what I want to talk about today. and I need to get back down the mountain. I'm gonna take a nice, relaxing day and plan the rest of my week. Today is gonna be me planning what I'm gonna do this week, and the month's over, guys. The month is over. This is the last day of the month. We are starting month 7 of 2019. Can you believe that? Wow, that's tomorrow. So the 1st, July 1st, tomorrow. Let's make it an incredible July. Let's make it a great summer, and let's make it a great year, and let's all make it a great life. And I know anybody that's out there doing the 30-day challenges, you guys got this. You got this. I know you got it. You got it. So I'm stoked that you guys gave yourself the time of day to give yourself the gift of your morning or whenever. And then give everybody else the rest of the energy for the day. But I'm gonna feel good today. I'm gonna take the day to plan my week, and then I'm gonna feel really good all week. But I will see you guys again tomorrow morning. It's gonna be day 22 tomorrow of my hike. So maybe I'll write down 8 more topics to talk about so I don't get up here and wonder what I'm gonna talk about. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Until next time, my name is David A. Stone. Develop awesome skills and go find your gold.